Hello, hello, hello there. I'm Veronica Coney, founder of Healthy Inspirational Living, and I want to talk to you about wellness, health, and wellness, and overall healthy relationships. So, listen, just a tad peek. I'm getting to learn how to do this. I want to be more vocal and talk about really things that matter, things of importance, right? That's the things I want to talk about ultimately as it relates to your health and wellness of your overall being, mentally, physically, sometimes spiritually. I'm really not into like the religion thing and really stepping into what spirituality means as it relates to your consciousness. Anyway, so I just want to talk about some things. I'm gonna be really transparent. I'm not gonna say any names or mention any circumstance, but I just want to talk about relationships, especially when it comes to a man and a woman. So the early part of this year, I end up being in a relationship. So I had this thing I was going to do. So I was going to like date two guys a month. Not like dating, like no type of physical attraction or anything. Just getting to know people, like just really getting to know guys. That's if you want to become married one day, right? You got to learn how to, talk to people and get to know what their desires are and what they want in life. So that was my goal. So I end up meeting this guy. Well, actually, I've been on this guy for a very long time, and we end up talking and whatnot. And it was an interesting. It started off really, really good. So it was just a good first date or whatever. I actually was prospecting this guy. That's another story. So you shouldn't prospect the guys. You need to learn off back that if you're gonna prospect them about business only. And if you go into another area, you gotta really be really clear. So there's no blurred lines. But anyway, so talking to this guy, I've been knowing him for a long time. But anyway, so I really started liking this guy, and like in the first week we started talking, that next week I was diagnosed with COVID. I had caught COVID or something like that. It was really weird. So I got really, really sick. I got really sick. And this is the person I was talking to every day, and we began to have a good relationship. It started out to be a very nice, beautiful relationship. I could say he was like my emotional support, really, really good. Was doing things for me. Just, open me. I was like, wow, I kind of like this. Anyway, I'm gonna make a very long story short. So that abruptly ended a couple of weeks ago, right? And I had clear boundaries in my head, right? But I was kind of like breaking those boundaries a little bit because I really liked this guy. And things could be so subtle, but I want to go into it. So, long and short, haven't talked to the guy. Hopefully, we still cool or whatever. But haven't talked to him, and I'm okay with that. I just want to say, ladies, if you're listening to this video, it's okay. Okay, so if you're dating a person, especially a guy, and you really like him, and your expectations, is to go someplace else and take the relationship someplace else, and they don't want to go that way, that is okay. That's perfectly fine. Because what I realized, and after I processed, everything, we was pretty much going in two different directions. And because I liked him so much, I was willing to compromise some of my boundaries and some of my non-negotiables. Right? I was really going to do that until things happened. I was like, oh well, this is not we're not going in the same direction. And I had to come to the realization that it's perfectly fine. It is perfectly okay, right, to be really, really into somebody and they was really into you. And, set your expectations and have your non-negotiables intact and both of you guys are on the same page. It's okay to step away. It's okay to be a little, little burnt about it, hurt or whatever you want to call it. It's okay because I was like, oh my God, I'm okay. I really, really liked this guy, but I was not willing to give up my non-negotiables. I wasn't willing to compromise in certain areas, and I was like, I'm okay with that. And I'm not mad, I'm not bitter, I'm not angry. I'm just a little like Taz, be like, okay, why? But then again, deep down inside, I know why. I know my why, and not saying that this person is lied to me or deceived. It was any type of deception involved. I don't believe it was. Was I truly believe we was both sincere, but we both had non-negotiables, and we didn't want to we didn't want to compromise, and that's totally okay. So, on another note, now I'm open, and I'm open to dating. So, started talking to another guy I was talking to, and I was actually talking to him last night, and it's gonna be really, really interesting, right? We was having a really good conversation, and I believe we was like picking each other's brains to find out where we were And could this possibly, could we even lead to a date, right? So it was interesting. I'm actually dating because I'm looking for that special person that I really want to be in partnership with, right? Every area of my life, somebody I can really trust and I can get really vibe with. But anyway, so talking to this guy, and ladies, I just got a question, right? If you got this far in the video, and I might be babbling or whatever, bear with me. I have a question. Would you prefer, no matter what background you came from, no matter what the circumstances or situations were, where you are today as a woman, would you rather the man, pay all the bills, pay the cost to be the boss? I came up under that rule. My dad would say, I pay the cost to be the boss. I'm like, okay, he's the boss. He called the shots because that's what he paid all the bills. And I was totally okay with that. I grew up looking at that. So things really did pan out, in my relationships like that. But as me being a grown woman now, I like that philosophy. You want to be the boss, you can pay the cost to be the boss, and I'm totally okay with that. I would go somewhere and politely have a seat and let you lead. So I would like to know, like, on the other side of the coin, we was having this conversation, and the guy was like, he's kind of mad. He's in a current situation, saying no names, whatever. But anyway, the young lady he's with was supposed to get a job or whatever, and she hasn't gotten a job, and he's carrying all the weight. And of course, he's a little disgruntled about it, right? And he was saying, like, I guess because of what he's experiencing right now, he's saying that if he's in a relationship, he has to be with a woman, and she has to do her share, and he'll do his share. Maybe it's because of the situation he's in right now. So as we was talking, we was like picking each other's brains. And I wouldn't even call it picking each other's brains. We were just getting to know each other, getting to know where we stand and what our non-negotiables were, and what we can compromise with. And he was like, well, I mean, I'm clear on what I want. I'm clear, man. You pay the cost to be the boss. You pay all the bills. I go somewhere, sit myself down, and probably do my duty as a woman. But anyway, he was like, he would rather be in a relationship with a woman that's paying half. And my man, and I didn't say it because I didn't want to, sound like like not, I just don't want to sound rude or bad or mean or anything. But I said to myself, okay, you want a roommate. If you a man, and it's just my philosophy, I could be wrong. Everybody got their own opinions. But for me, if you are a man, you are the man. You are the protector and the provider. I am the woman. I am the person that's on the sidelines, making sure you straight, right? So he said he wanted a woman to, to split the bills in case he get into a band. He want her to pick up the slack, right? Okay, fine. So my man, I said, bro, you want a roommate. You don't want a woman. You want somebody to share the responsibilities share your responsibility. I could be wrong, but I come from an era where the man paid the cost to be the boss, is the provider and the protector. Okay? That's how I'm looking at things. However, tell me different. Am I tripping and what the heck? Am I crazy? I know we in an era where it takes 2 incomes to run a household. I get that, right? And also we in the era of plenty. We are living in abundance, depending on how you look at things. Depending on what your goals are in life, depending on what you're willing to do, what you're willing to sacrifice now to have later. That's where I'm at with that. And far as he also mentioned something like, well, if I'm in a band, of course, it's better for her to come up, come and help the situation. But if you had a woman that had your back and they're going to allow you to be in the position to be the protector and the provider, you think she would sit on the sidelines and let you suffer without having a nest egg somewhere to pull you out that band, whatever you in? So, yeah, I'm just like, okay. And that's all I had to say. I know I got a little bit rough at the edges at the end, but y'all put some comments in the comment section. I really want to know what you're thinking about this situation, okay?